Okay, Hades Mega here. There it is. Supermoto wheels are installed. So I don't have the chain on there quite yet. So this thing is just kind of just freewheeling there. But yeah, just make sure it does freewheel. The wheel kind of like bulges around just a tiny bit. It looks pretty sweet. Boy, you could put a bigger tire on that, man. You can put a wider wheel on this, man. Yeah. In my opinion, I think they could have given you a wider wheel. So, just to give you an idea, this is the wheel that's on my KLX 140 Supermoto here, and this is a, what is it? It's a 3.5 inch versus the one on this guy is a 2.15 inch. So this one is almost an inch wider. So I think you could probably put an inch wider wheel on this. Yeah, you could. So if you wanted to make some custom wheels for your Suron, the wheels on the in the Suron Supermoto kit are okay. They're okay, but they're not like Supermoto up to Supermoto standard, you know. So this is what I'm running on this bike. So if you guys are wondering, so that was a 3.5 and a 2.15. I think this is a 2.5. So this is a 2.75 front, 17 by 2.75. So you could totally, yeah, I think the front, you can probably go a little wider on the front, I'm thinking, before it starts rubbing. And you can probably add an extra inch to all these wheels. So these wheels are like, they're not wide enough. You want the tire to have a fairly flat profile. This is pretty flat. This one kind of, in fact, I think these tires are a little too big for these rims. I could use a wider rim. You can probably, I would, if it was me, if I was gonna make a custom set of wheels for this bike, I probably would go with at least a 3.5, a 3 inch wheel. You got plenty of space back there, man. Now that the wheel isn't so tall, it's you know, whatchamacallit, this guy doesn't get in the way, so you got plenty of space. Oh, okay, the chain, the chain. That's probably why it's so thin. It's because the chain might rub on the tires, so that's probably one limiting factor. But yeah, if it wasn't for the chain, you can probably put an inch wider wheel in the rear, and probably an inch wider in the front too. This is what, 175? 1.6, yeah, you could probably go 1 inch up in the front. The thing looks tiny, man. Look at it. Why does it look a lot different? But yeah, there you go, man. So it's pretty much a 17-inch wheel kit, so you can put street tires on your Suron Light Beast. So it looks pretty cool. Let's go. Okay, so there it is. Without it sitting on the stand, boy, is it a lot lower than it was before. It's a lot lower. One thing we could do is we can hold up. Let's go hold up the. This is the stock rear wheel right here, the dirt wheel. You can compare it to the front wheel, to the rear wheel here. So that just gives you an idea how much of a difference in height the stock wheel is, the stock dirt wheel compared to the Supermoto wheel. It's a good, I don't know, I can measure it later, man, but it's like 3 fingers, man. Oh, it's literally almost like a 3 finger. So like it's almost like 2 inches lower. It's a lot lower, man. That's a good question. I wonder if this wheel fits with the X fender, because that's what I would use it for. I wanted to use it for the dirt so my back won't get wet or muddy all the time, you know. It's really annoying thing about this bike, man. The fenders freaking suck. I think they could just make a longer one, you know, a longer tail. So yeah, there it is. It's a lot lower than it used to be. Yeah, I don't have the chain on it yet, so I can't ride it. But there it is. So that was the video on how to install the wheels on the bike, minus the chain. So one thing that's annoying about this is I'm going to be going back and forth between sprocket sizes. So I'm going to constantly be adjusting the chain. So one thing I could do is I could mark the adjuster blocks for which chain I'm using. So like I make a gold mark for like the 62 sprocket and a silver mark for the other one. So but yeah, so that's what it looks like. It's much lower. It sits much straighter with the side stand because it's lower now. Also, that's one thing I noticed. It used to lean a lot more, and now it doesn't. So I'll just lean it to the right there. So your chances that you have to be very careful when you park it because it could tip over more easily. See how easily. It's not too bad. Just be careful where you park it. That's all. You got a big gap between this and the. You got a huge gap between the fender, where my mud hugger fender is, and the Supermoto wheel fender. So I don't have to worry about this getting eaten up like this on the rear wheel, on the front wheel anymore. So that's kind of nice. So I think this actually works pretty good with the mud hugger front fender. Actually looks nice too. It's lower. In fact, I kind of want the fender to be lower than that. So is there any clearance issues? No. For some reason, we're rubbing here. See, we're rubbing real bad. I don't know what the deal with that is. The paint is rubbed straight off of there. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, it looks like we got a good amount of clearance in here. There's a good amount of clearance everywhere. So the wheels are much smaller than the other one. So hopefully I can get that speed again, you know. Yeah, so this is the 42 tooth sprocket. I believe the stock Sur-Ron comes with the 42 tooth sprocket. So there you go, man. It's just much smaller wheels. So look forward to my first ride video. I'll probably, if I get the chain on it tonight, I'll take it out for a ride tomorrow around town and let you know how it feels like. I'm running 28 psi front and rear, like I showed you in the preparation video. It's got the new X fender on the back. X-Bike fender, and yeah, it's a lot lower now. It looks pretty cool though. I wish they had just sold a version that had these wheels already on it, you know. And I will be testing the speed and everything because the speed was off with the 62 sprocket. So I'm wondering how it is with this sprocket right here. So so there you go. So that was the the Sur-Ron Supermoto wheel install. Hope you guys learned something. Hopefully it was entertaining for you guys. I learned a lot. I learned a lot in this video, so hope you guys did too. All right, look forward to my first ride video. All right, here's my guy. So just to give you some info, it took me 4 hours to install these wheels. I started at like 1600 and it's like 2000 now. So that's 4 hours, so it took a while. But that's me prepping the wheels. I'm trying to shoot a video at the same time. It always takes longer. So I'd imagine if you just wanted to take these out of the box and just throw them onto your bike, you could probably put them on in like an hour. Hour, maybe less. Yeah, if everything was like, you know, was set up good. And plus I installed the X fender too, so that took some time. And I have a different chain setup and everything. I didn't even install the chain yet. So yeah, actually I'm not even done with it yet. So it's gonna take me longer than 4 hours to install. So whatchamacallit, so it takes longer. It took me longer than 4 hours. I'd imagine you could probably do it in about, an hour or two, okay? An hour or two. And now once you got everything installed, you know, it's probably a lot easier, you know. Plus, so you don't have to change the front spacers because it comes with a second set of spacers. So you can leave the ones on the dirt wheels on there. So that kind of makes it easier. Plus, I was inspecting stuff and making sure everything was tight, like you should, you know, when they come out of the box, you know. You don't know if they were assembled right in the factory. And I found so yeah, it's gonna take me more than 4 hours to install the whole thing. Like I said, I didn't do the chain yet, so that's why I say it's gonna take me more than 4, because it took me 4 to install the wheels. So I'd imagine, so on this bike, on the KLX 140, I can do it in 15 minutes because I've timed myself before. I could swap the wheels in 15 minutes, but that's the way I have that bike set up. It's set up where I can just flip-flop the wheels. This one is a little different. it's a little different in that the sprockets are different sizes, so I got to change the chain like every time. So it's like you got to change the chain, you got to adjust the chain. It's a real pain in the ass, man. So if I just stuck with one sprocket size, you know, maybe I can just get a sprocket that's like in between the two, like a 52 sprocket for both of them, you know. But that's more money. That's a lot of money. You got to buy 2 sprockets. So yeah, that setup is actually easier to swap. This because that's the way I made it. This one not so easy because of the sprockets. Other than that, I mean, just swapping the wheels. If you were to swap the wheels without the sprockets, yeah, I bet you could do it in like 20 minutes, man. It wouldn't take that long. It wouldn't take that long at all. It's actually not that hard at all. Just remember what the torque specs are. I highly there's some people on the interwebs are saying, well, I don't torque anything, you know. That is not the way to do things. You want to make sure all that stuff is torqued on there properly, because I've caught that back nut backing off on me before. So you want to make sure you torque everything, and that's the way you should do it all the time. Like loosening it, you know, loosen it, but use a torque wrench every time, dude. Don't do what these other jokers are doing on the internet, not torquing their stuff, you know. And I gave you the torque specs. I will on the install video, I will put the torque specs on the descriptions below for every bolt that you need to tighten. So if you just need a quick reference, you can go to that video. So yeah. So I hope that helps some people install their wheels. I think if you're somebody that was pretty handy with tools, you could probably do this yourself if you watched my video. If you're a pretty accomplished person working with motorcycles and stuff, like you can do wheel swaps and you know how to work on motorcycles and chains and all that stuff, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty piece of cake. It's roughly the same as a motorcycle, you know. If you could probably take the battery out too if you want, you know. Probably one of the harder parts is figuring out how to put your bike on. I would suggest you buy like a motocross stand, a motocross bike stand, so you have something to just throw it up on. This Harbor Freight stand worked okay, but it tilted forward after I installed the front wheel. I was lucky that didn't happen before, you know. This skid plate is just like the bottom is just not flat enough, you know, and it likes to roll forward. Yeah, that's what I want to say about that. This is not the ideal stand to be using for this, but you could also lay it on its side too if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. I have stands and stuff. Actually, I could probably put it on a crate too. That might have worked also. So yeah, just getting your bike in the position to take all the wheels off, that's another challenge. It's not as light as a mountain bike. You can't just throw it on its side. I mean, you guess you could, but why? But anyway, if you were doing it on the road, yeah, you probably have to do that somehow. Or you could use something like a snapjack. I got snapjack here. Oh, here we go. A snapjack. So you kind of just put this up right here, and it pushes up on the other stand, on the side stand, and it props your wheel up, so you can take the wheel off, and hopefully it doesn't fall off while you're working on it. So, yeah, I don't know. If I got a flat on the road, I don't know what I would do, man. It's you definitely have to carry some tools with you and some tire irons and stuff. Can't use no bicycle tire irons for these wheels too, man. You got to use like some motorcycle ones. Probably not very big ones, you know, but yeah. So I have yet to still change the tires on this. I'm gonna run these tires until they're dead, but they look pretty nice. It's a CST. They're the stock brand tires, so. I don't have the stock tires for my bike, so mine came with Shinko Charles tires. So, all right, cool deal. Yeah, it's still got like the little nubs on it. Still got little nubs, and it's got these like marks on it. So it's fresh, man, brand new. $350. I'm thinking that's a great bargain, man. And in my opinion, like I said, like some people probably never gonna ride this thing off road. They should have just sold a version that had the Supermoto wheels already on it. But I'll let you know how I feel about, like, you know, the whole Supermoto dealie. If you're gonna do more street riding, you should just get these wheels. You know, they should have just sold a bike that had these wheels already. You know, I don't know why they didn't. All right, so yeah, that's just some other thoughts Hades and Mega had on the install. took 4 hours, and you got to find something to prop your bike up on, and yeah. And then you just want to make sure these wheels are squared away. I mean, the wheels are what connect you to the ground, man. So that's like the most important part of the bike. so like yeah, you want to make sure those are safe and properly installed, and make sure you torque everything, torque everything, and try to put Loctite on as much fasteners as you can. You don't want that stuff backing out. In fact, I would even say go safety wire all your stuff, man. If you could safety wire stuff, go and do it, man. You don't want any of that stuff coming out on you. Like I had the chain come off on me the other day while I was riding, and that sucked, dude. So you can believe it, I'm going to be safety wiring my Master Link from now on. so yeah, I don't know if they make a rivet style Master Link for 420 chains. That's a good question. All right, here's Mig out. All right, so on another note, also, it would have been nice if Suron or Lunacycle sold wheels with different colors. So these are the only wheels colored I've seen that for light the light B is a black. So, or like like a matte black. It looks good on this bike, but I imagine if you had a green bike, maybe you'd want some green wheels, or some like kind of like green, like Kawasaki green wheels, or if you had a red bike, maybe you want some red wheels. So I think it would look cool. Or actually, I'm not a big fan of like painted wheels at all. I just want like just no paint at all, just like this, just a aluminum finish. That kind of matches with everything. The stock KLX wheels are kind of like a chrome finish. Same thing with the KLR wheels, are chrome finish. The only thing I don't like about black wheels is that like they scratch when you install new tires on them. They get scratched. So unless you use those rim protectors when you're installing them. So I can tell you this: that front tire looks like it's a bitch to install. I'm not sure. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, the front tire looks like it's a pain in the ass to install. But if anything, it looks about the same size as the freaking bicycle tire, though. Yeah, dude, I don't know how fast that'll be, how fast we can go with this bad boy. We will take it to the racetrack, and I will test it to see how it is. Yeah, so there's the rear wheel. I think the rear wheel, I don't know. That's a good question. When I get to installing new tires on it, I will shoot another vlog and let you know how it is installing tires on these. But for now, I'm going to rock these tires until they're out of tread. So, all right, here's me out.